So we also want to be able to tell people too, which is important to me, was so if somebody comes and says, I have cancer in my family, I have dementia in my family, I have that in the family, that's one thing that I definitely want us to be able to address is, okay, well, that's not something I want. That's, it's here, and I'm kind of nervous about it. You don't want to live in fear, of course, because but it is stuff that's been becoming more prevalent, that we're having that, and people don't know how to fix it, and some doctors only want to, when you get it, we're going to give you this. Well, that's not where we want to be. That's not where I want to be. And, I mean, if that's where you want to be, it's fine, but ideally, we want to be able to be preventive and not reactive, have preventative medicine and not reactive medicine. It was my goal with the Smile Spa, and it's also my goal. That's why I'm kind of coming to you, like you could help us be, have a bigger assessment, have a broader assessment of everything that's going on in their life, so that it's not just like, oh, we'll take this one mind peptide and this is going to help your brain, and it doesn't work and you still get dementia. I will feel terrible.
Look, I make people go get blood panels all the time just so we could see, and then the doctor reads it. I say, would you mind bringing it to me so I could do my assessment of it? Not that I'm better or lesser than a doctor or whatever. I just want to see what I can do to bring that down, and then I want to do it again in a couple months to see if I was able to bring that down from my perspective, much less a peptide, you know what I mean?
Right.
I want to do all I can from my training and my nutrition first, and then add the peptide in. Not later, but in correlance with what I do.
When it needs to go in.
When it needs to go in, and at the right times, and at the right amounts.
Yeah.
And so,
I think that's a good
anyway,
idea.
so that's my studies right now is how much to take, or should I take, when am I going to take this, with food, without food, and so on and so forth. Because there's so many entities out there, and you can pull up stuff on the internet, and everybody has a little bit difference of opinion, and that's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's just what that person felt at that time. But there's a couple of them that I've done myself that I can tell you that worked for me at my body fat, at my training level, at so and so and so and so.
Yeah, we've been getting some good results. I've been excited to hear the testimonies. I'm hoping to be able to get some good testimonies and put them out, on our page, on our YouTube channel too, so people can really hear real life people that are really here, not just like somebody from, they're like, oh, what is this person talking about? No, real life, we've had these results. But of course, like we talked about, not everybody's, you could take the exact same thing. You and I could take the exact same thing, and we could definitely not have the same results.
Right.
So we can't just be like, oh, that person did great on retatrutide. Let's start giving them this crazy new retatrutide.
That's not what it's about.
No, it's not going to work that way.
Right.
So that's kind of the point of today, and having you here is just to really go back to the fact that, yes, we have these peptides. Smile Spa Wellness is, excited about offering peptides. We're excited about, having my son as a trainer and got to meet you from that gym, which has been great. Y'all are such great trainers. We have all these things in our pocket, but it's not all just cookie cut. Like, it's not just like, oh, everybody do these things and then that's it. It's going to need, if you want to do it right, we need to do it person by person and be more.
And I think that's what the world's coming to now with the addition of the peptides. Peptides been around forever, but the world started getting it. And so with the addition, the acceleration of peptide usage, it's things are a little bit different. The nutrition is a little bit different. People's lives are a little bit different than it was in the past, and so on and so forth. And so it's up to us to take those peptides and add it to the now instead of the past and where it's going. And same thing with the nutrition. I love about this, another thing I love about this sport or this job is everything's always changing. What I told people 5 years ago may not apply now. And that's okay. That's cool, because that means we're evolving, right? Yeah. And everything's a little bit different now. So we're learning. We continue with that evolving of everything. We're just adding new stuff. Right,
yeah,
exactly. So, anyway, that's what makes it so fun and exciting. A continual process of evolving and things changing what may have been and now isn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The people that say they don't like change, I'm always like, why? Like, I love change, almost to a fault, though. Like, I'll change quick about stuff. Just like, oh, yes, I'm squirrel, Yeah, absolutely. So it could be a good thing and a bad thing, having change. But overall, it's good to accept change and do change. If we eat the same thing every day for all of our lives, our body's just not going to do anything with it.
Definitely.
You're wasting all this.
She's doing that again. Let me put this on the back burner.
Yeah,
and I know
I'm
what
not
she's
getting any
That's
protein
correct.
out of that. I'm not getting stuff out of that. You could throw peptide and everything you want at it, and it's not going to work. But you can throw medication at it at the end too, and all that's going to do is just mask the problem that you never fixed down here. So I do think we could offer people a lot of good information, and then they take the information, they can use the information either with you, with Spencer, with me, with whoever they want to use it with. You could have this information. So we'll offer assessments for sure, and then we'll offer training, offer nutrition plans, and they offer peptides. So we have all that kind of like in our little back pocket to be able to help people, whoever want to be helped, whoever wants to be helped. Is there anything we missed today? There's so much. We probably
I mean,
could
there's
get
so
you
much,
back.
and we could go on forever and hours, and people get tired of me all the time. I'm talking, so I can bring this to any level we want to go with, but that's kind of what I want to get people, make them understand or know that there's more to it than just that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Training, water intake, inflammation, peptides, whatever. There's way more to it than just that.
Yeah.
Just get educated for you on what it is. And I'm not even telling you to take my word for it. I'm going to give you a thing of what I think. Don't rely on that. Go do your own research.
Do your research if you want to do it. If you
and
have
then
time.
come back to me and say, hey, you told me this, but guess what? My body has this. Good. Let's change that.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Please come back
Change
with
it up.
information. So I don't pretend to sit here and be the end all be all and the know it all. I know less. I want to know more. So give me that information. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Read, study. And it's almost the best thing that ever happened to me is when COVID happened and I stopped watching the news.
Yeah.
So now it's like I'm watching all these podcasts. And it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing because now I'm just like going off them. But you learn a lot. You learn a lot more than watching the news or some regular show on TV. The only thing we didn't touch on that I think I do want to do a little bit on, and this could go on forever too, but is sleep. Because I do treat sleep in the office, and I have another guy that I've just recently talked to. They have a sleep test, and he did tell me that the GLP-1 now, the insurance is paying, which you don't want to deal with that, but insurance is helping patients that are having sleep apnea to have, and they're overweight, of course. They're paying for them to have the GLP-1 so that they can lose the weight for the sleep. They're not dealing with anything else, and that's fine. He's a sleep doctor, and he's going to help these people sleep. I had started it even before I met him, but doing oral appliances because I kept hearing people that hated their CPAP and they wouldn't wear their CPAP and all these things. And I was like, these people, if you're not breathing, I mean, we're talking about getting back to the basics.
Hundreds
oxygen,
of people out there. Right.
Basic oxygen. Right. We need oxygen to focus and to function, our body to work right. So sleep for me was almost where one of the things that I started this with was TMJ, inflammation, and then sleep. I knew that if they would lose some weight, because I work on people in their sleep position, and I see all of this in the way, So I knew for heavier people, it's harder for me to get in their mouth. It's harder for them to get in their mouth, and it's harder for them to breathe.
Right.
So I knew that along the way. But even if they're not heavy, if you have a sleep issue, we know that the body's not working. So you also assess their sleep.
Says their sleep. A lot of sleep comes with going back to dehydration. Imbalance and dehydration. Those two cause inflammation, which is where that comes in. Gotcha. Now, in a person like that, you could probably give them the peptide that helps that out, and we could work backwards on that one just to get them some. Because if you're not sleeping, you're in a dehydrated state when you wake up, and you're in a inflammatory state when you wake up.
Does it make your cortisol go up too, though?
Make your cortisol go up. So you start every day in the minus.
Yeah.
When we're trying to get you in the plus or to zero, and so in that case, the peptide introduction to get it down. Just like somebody that's way overweight, get them down first a little bit. Yeah. Small dose, see how the body reacts. Get them down, and then slowly add all those other things in there. We got to get that, because if you're not getting enough oxygen to your lungs, that's straight up inflammation right off the bat. And you don't get oxygen to your lungs, you're not going to grow any dense muscle, which in turn is going to burn body fat, which in turn is going to make you balanced, which in turn is going to keep you hydrated, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah. So that's a huge one. Sleep is huge.
Sleep is huge. Definitely, I do think.
So how we monitor that? Well, we get them the little Oura rings. A lot of people come to me with the Oura rings. I'm just using that example, and monitor your sleep. My sleep, Ken? Yeah, try to get you 4 hours. Let's start slow. Try to get 4 hours. And then so that's where you come in with a peptide. Let's go that 4 hour first, then move on to 5, move on to 6 with the nutrition, with the hydration, and with what Ken does. And it's so cool. I'm so happy I met you, because it's so cool how we can keep spinning and go around and just, you know what I'm saying? And I think you for sure, with your knowledge on that, you can really help a bunch of people in that aspect.
And that's the goal, just to help everybody get healthy and not.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, I don't want any of my friends or family dying, having early deaths from some stupid reason that they could just fix by an Oura ring or a lot
of those we can fix.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not, like I said, a doctor or an end all
we're
be
not
all,
God or a doctor,
right? But we can fix a lot of those things.
Yeah,
I've had several people come to me with shoulder injuries, for instance, and that you need surgery. Let me go see Ken first. Can you fix this? I can try. I don't know, but give me a shot.
Yeah.
And I work well with those doctors. And so we do some exercises for the shoulder and build the small fibers around it and just add in this little peptide. Because so I tell people all the time, peptides are this big, an amino acid may be that big, and a protein molecule may be that big. So we're going to lose this little small one as we age first. So if we put that little small one back, we're almost working ourselves in reverse. So let's put that in first to heal that shoulder, TB 500, BB 157, whatever.
Yep.
Let's put that in right in your shoulder, subcutaneous, of course. Let's put that in your shoulder, or whatever you say. Work on that, and then I'm going to work the smaller fibers to make that little peptide work to our advantage. Then I'm going to move on to the amino acid, to the next fiber. Then I'm going to move on to, okay, let's get your protein intake. Yeah. So you see how it's always...
It's a building block.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a building block.
Anyway.
Back from the basics.
Yes, exactly. Back from the basics. That's right.